Musenge was in the child team, and they had got the gold in the team event. And then Jade was in the junior team, and they got she got an individual first, and we also had Phiri Mulubwa, who also got an individual first, and Musenge got 2 individual firsts as well. They just did brilliantly. There's everybody was talking about the quality of their riding and their courage, great courage, and also very humble. They were just so lovely, and everybody they warmed everybody's hearts. They were great ambassadors to Zambia. I'm so proud.
Now, Musenge, I was watching you on News on the Go earlier on, and you talked about how you had to use horses that you hadn't been using before, because obviously you couldn't travel with your own horses. How was it for you training the 3 days before actually getting into the competition?
It was quite stressful knowing that there were some countries that had their own horses. So it was quite stressful having only 3 days to get to know the horse and having to do such a high height. For me especially, because normally even if I'm at home on my safest horse, I get so nervous before I go
I can
in.
imagine.
Yeah. So only having 3 days to prep was quite difficult. But with the horse that I got, my horse was really sweet and had a lot of confidence, meaning it was easier for me to get to know the horse and get to bond with the horse better.
Okay. How was that for you, Jade?
Yeah, I'd say it was quite challenging, like something I've never done before. It's also, you have to adapt to the horse, you know, horses are all completely different, so it's kind of like you have 3 days, you can't panic, you have to adapt to the horse, you don't have time to change the horse to you, so it's something that's quite difficult, but we practice swapping horses, so we rode each other's horses back at home, so that helped as well, getting to know.
Now, with you, Coach, let's talk of even just being back home and prepping, not just for this cup which they managed to win, but generally prepping in this sport and training with this sport. How is it for you? Like, do you go through challenges and even having to train some of your students?
Yes, well, you can imagine you've got 2 in the teams. You've got your horse and your rider that you're training.
Yeah.
So they both have to learn, and they... what is interesting is horses really do want to connect with humans. They're very interesting animals. And in the short time that they were there, their horses fell in love with them, and you fell in love with your horses. It was extraordinary to watch. When they first walked into the stable, the horses didn't want to be friendly, but in the end they were really close. So that's what we try and work on, is that bond between rider and horse. And then we work on the rider's balance, and then as the balance improves, we learn communicating with the horse, and we use our legs, mostly our legs and our body, and a little bit our hands connects to the mouth. And so it's a whole body experience with your horse and mental. So it's a really challenging sport, but massively rewarding when it goes right. Yeah. So and it's many hours of learning your balance, and isn't it? Yeah. It takes a long time, but it's every time you ride, you learn something new. And I can't recommend it highly enough. It's wonderful, isn't it?
It must be wonderful. I was saying, because Musenge, when you were on earlier, your dad was there with you at the airport. Has your family always been so supportive when it comes to you participating in the sport?
They have been so supportive, but sometimes they take it as a risk because I've fallen off many times. Yeah, so
that's part of the
how
sport.
painful is that? I've never been on a horse, so I have no idea.
Definitely part of the sport is falling off.
It's part of it.
Which
I've fallen off so many times, you just get used to it. You don't feel the pain.
There's no pain in the hand. And what about for you, Jade?
Yeah.
Like, how's the family?
I'd say my parents, they're lovely. Of course, it's a quite expensive sport, you know, they have to put time and effort into it, and I'm so lucky. Thank you to my parents, to Zara, Rachel, everyone that's helped, especially on this trip. Like, we wouldn't be able to be anywhere we are. I know Musenge even said earlier, it's lovely. They've always helped, driven me to practice, got me horses. It's lovely.
That's a really lovely, Jade. Exactly. We want to thank so many people for, because it's a huge team effort. And also thanks to the Algerian Federation for being so welcoming. They were lovely. We made really good friends with them, and they gave us lovely horses.